Hey guys, Liquid here, and welcome back to Let's Answer Some Questions. As always, push questions below, and I will answer them next week. But first, I just want to mention that the day this is going up, it is now Christmas Eve, and so hopefully everybody has a happy Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and whatnot. And there's one thing to update about my channel is I'll probably the next couple weeks that is like the week of December 25th and the week of January 1st. Probably I will probably not actually upload any videos, um, just because I feel weird. Just like kind of have like a break, I guess, on the channel for the holiday season. But starting in January again, more videos will start going up. Though they'll probably still continue the Q&A videos and whatnot. But let's get started. Derp Newb 06 asks, Will you ever play Resident Evil 7? At some point, that is something that I will probably get around to. Red Robin asks, do you plan on playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2? It is something I'll probably plan to get around to. Can you play Little Nightmares in the future? They also have DLCs. It is probably something that I plan to get around to. I had actually never heard of the game before this question, but I looked into it a little bit. Like, it looks interesting, I suppose. Like, one thing to remember about lately, like I mentioned this every video I get the same requests and whatnot, and you know, this type of thing where all these games that are being requested and whatnot, like it's possible that I can do them, but like don't look forward to it anytime soon because I've got a big backlog of other stuff and a lot of plans and whatnot. Red Hood 440 asks, do you have a best friend? I suppose in a way, like in terms of like the actual like if you're asking like do I have a what am I trying to say here? I don't really have rankings for my friends, if that makes sense. Like you're like this is my best friend, this is my second best friend or whatever. It's like I remember being around like in school one time, and, like these two girls, these girls got like this big fight about like you said I was your best friend, like the type of thing. And so I've never really cared about like labels like that and whatnot, but I do have like close friends and whatnot, yeah. Magma Ascending asks, did you have good grades in school? I had for the most part I would say I had pretty good grades, especially like the earlier, I think, like in my school life, I would say that my grades were better. Like in elementary school, I would say I was pretty good. And, in middle school, I want to say in sixth grade, there was like one like semester or whatever, where I remember specifically getting like straight A's on like the report card, which I want to say like I can't really remember that ever happening before or after that, but I'd say like probably starting in high school, like seventh and eighth grade, I think I still did pretty well as well. Um, but I think starting in high school, like some like the grades like sort of just slack off. Like some of it was just me not being motivated and whatnot, and just obviously as well as just like the material getting much more difficult. Like probably mathematics was the type of thing where I always that was probably my lowest like of all the things, like all the subjects, like algebra and whatnot. Like I remember, you know, like speaking of like I was talking about how I was pretty good in elementary school. Like I was actually, the way they did it was like they had you like kind of separate like the classes separated into for math, like for certain subjects you would go to a different, because normally with elementary school the way it was here was you have one teacher for the entire year, whereas like with middle and high school and whatnot, you have a different teacher for each subject. But starting with like fourth grade, um, what they would do is certain teachers would like take on like the sort of the regular children, I guess, like if, for like lack of a better word, and then other children like myself were put into like an advanced accelerated class where we would go to another teacher who for math, and basically, what was it like? Well, lost my train of thought. Um, and basically, I was in like a sort of accelerated math and whatnot, and so this might like be different for everyone else, but we started learning about algebra in fifth grade, and the thing is, I remember I was absent from school. I want to say like on the time that at the time that we actually like they started covering algebra, and so I remember when I got into the class and whatnot, and like the next day, and they were like, all right, so let's learn what we did last time, and they started like we were going through these algebraic equations and whatnot, and I never learned this before, and so I just kind of had to like make do and whatnot, and I wonder if like me being absent for algebra that one day like had a permanent impact on my math ability, because I never really got the same instruction that the other kids got. But saying that, like, I remember in 10th grade, we had these things like these mid-year exams and whatnot, and I want to say like I actually got a very high grade on like the algebra exam. Like I want to say like a like the teacher actually like named it, like he called me by name, and it was like yeah, you were the only one that got like that a perfect score or something like that. So like that was definitely, I think, a fluke, I think, because like generally my math was not too great. Um, and also I would say science got at least it depends on the type of science. Like I just remember in chemistry when you learn about like combine like equal, like what was it, what was it called, like leveling the, like equalizing the equation or something like that, like balancing the equation, yeah, balancing the formula. I don't know whatever it was, like that was something that honestly I had just I had very little understanding of, um but I don't think my grade was that bad though. And another thing was like in math, whenever we started learning about imaginary numbers and like polynomials and whatnot, like that was just something that I physically couldn't wrap my head around. Like I just didn't really understand it. Like I can think that would like really hurt my ability. But other subjects like maybe I don't know, like English or history and whatnot, I think even into high school I was pretty decent at them. Um, though still like I would say because of like a lack of motivation, you know my grades might have still gone down. Like I would probably like I would like procrastinate on English assignments and whatnot. But I think that answers the question for the most part. Like I think I've rambled quite a bit though. And also for a very brief period, I was in a Java class, and there were only like three other people in the class, and and so I'm not really sure if the teacher didn't really seem to care too much, I guess, because there were so many there were so few people in the class. Like he just kind of like gave out the work and kind of like chilled for a bit. Whereas I remember just like not really understanding. Like I wouldn't really consider myself proficient at all in Java because of the class. X04 Life asks, will you play Spider-Man PS4 at some point eventually? Yes. Now Royal Guard, who posts he posts these comments on all my videos, and which I'm very thankful for. But I think this might be his very first question. Do you plan on playing any more superhero games at some eventually? Yes. I can't really say when. About I've just finished Croc, The Legend of the Gobos, and I've already got what comes next planned, and I probably will start recording more videos pretty soon because I actually haven't really recorded in a while because I've just had a very big backlog of videos that I just had a week or so where I just was recording, and got enough footage to kind of just last me a while. But new superhero stuff and whatnot will probably come at some point. Yes. And final question, Mr. Gameboy Brandon asks, what editing software do you use? Now, at the moment, I actually do not use any editing software. I pretty much I use the recording program OBS, and I basically just kind of record, and I record videos in chunks where I start the video, I start recording, I say, hey guys, look here, I record 20 minutes or so, and then I call the video, liquid out and whatnot, and then end it, call it there, and then upload the video. In rare situations, I might go into editing because of my throat made a weird noise. They probably came through, but in rare situations, I might need to edit because not much is really getting done in the episode, or I don't know, I stumble upon my words too badly, that I'm just kind of embarrassed to. I just don't want to leave that in, and so I might even just what I tend to do these days is just use the built-in YouTube editor. But back in the day, when I first started this thing, what I would do is use Windows Movie Maker, and I used that for maybe a year or so, and then eventually I switched to with the help of a friend of mine named his name on YouTube is Calibrin, Calobrin. I got a Sony Vegas, which has been the what I've used for the most part on most of my videos and whatnot, and it works pretty well. Definitely has not perfect or whatever, but it's been serviceable for what I've had to do in the rendering videos and whatnot. But also there was another time, I can't remember exactly, because there have been times where I think my biggest problem with Sony Vegas was that it just took so long to render the files, and also just the files were very big or something like that. I can't exactly remember what the problems I was having with it were, but eventually I switched to Camtasia, which I think has its own little editing software. And I was still recording at the time with at the time I was recording with Fraps, but I would record with Fraps and then edit the videos with Camtasia. And I seem to remember it recorded or rendered very quickly, and the videos were pretty small. I try to think of what videos I actually used. That was around, I think, 2011 or so, maybe, that I used that. I can't really remember too well. And eventually I did switch back to Sony Vegas because I found a plugin or way to render that rendered pretty quickly. But now I just used OBS because for me it's the most time efficient, I guess. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question. In terms of to get down to it, just right now I don't use any editing software. I just record or upload the raws from OBS. But when I did edit, I used Sony Vegas for the most part, and sometimes Camtasia. But yeah, that's all the comments for this week, folks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully I answered your question. Post questions below, and I will answer them possibly next week or possibly the week after that. Who knows? Because like I said, I will probably just take it easy for the holidays and whatnot. But hopefully everybody has Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I might record something like some weird little Christmas thing. Like I know one year I played some sort of like Santa Claus game or something. But if that does not happen, I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, look it out.